What's good, my fellow peasants, on this most auspicious of days? Well, actually, no, I'll take that back. It is American election day. There ain't nothing auspicious about that shit. Well, I ain't here to talk about that. I just woke up this morning, and I had this shared with me. So this is a unreleased Final Fantasy 15 commercial, and there's 3 new cutscenes in there, really small, probably about 0.5 seconds per, and you might think that's not considerable enough for a video, but they're pretty damn compelling. One of them is super dope, the other 2 are dope, and watch out for them carefully, guys. I've already seen it, I've already selected the ones I want to go through. You've seen the thumbnail. We are going hard, guys. This is tinfoil hat engaged, first thing. I'd also want to engage Goofy headset, but look, guys, Goofy headset is dying. Goofy headset is on his last legs, man. Goofy headset engaged gently for possibly the last time. We're going to hold a funeral for him. So many great memories, but he's on his last legs. So let's go, let's watch it. Tally ho. And watch carefully, guys. Oh my goodness. What is visceral action? What a weird thing to say. Visceral action, hey? Visceral. I do like my action visceral. I don't understand. I don't know. Oh, Leviathan at the end. Okay. So yeah, I told you it was brief. Now it's brief, but there's a lot there, guys. So let's engage tinfoil hats. This is the first clip I want to break down. Now I've gone searching for 4929. I cannot for the life of me find out what that reference is. It probably means something, 4929. If anyone knows, let me know in the comment section below. I've come up trumps. It's probably some sort of Easter egg code for some sort of safe or combination. I don't know, but a lot of people this morning have been focusing on the train. Is it Doom train? What's this train? Nothing to go on, so I can't talk about it. But I'm looking at her. Oh my goodness, guys. So, I mean, we've seen versions of these things in caves. We fought them. They kind of speak. They're kind of creepy as hell. But if anyone doesn't know or haven't made the link, that is pretty much the same Spider-Woman as what's on the Genesis artwork. So here's the Genesis artwork. I know that one's wearing black and this one is in red, but there's something I've always wanted to talk about this. And what is this creature? So she's important enough to be on the Genesis artwork, and pretty much all the names in this game are either Latin or Greek derived. Almost all of them, and the names mean stuff. The director said the names mean stuff, just like the character designs, the emblems, the badges. The names mean something, and I found 1,000,001 links to Luna's name in Greek. I found obviously all the ones that everyone's found for Latin, for Noctis and Regis. I've even found them for Ignis. I've seen them for Gladiolus. Gladiolus actually means to abandon your brothers. I kind of never spoke about this one before. I theorised that parts of my Sons of Odin video would be that Gladiolus goes off, he goes to hell, and that he leaves his brothers. And his name actually does kind of mean abandoned brother. And this is what I want to talk about. I'll talk about Sons of Odin in the middle, so in a minute. But one of the other names is Aranea. Aranea Highwind in Latin means spider, and that's pretty much the only definition. And here we have this spider bitch clinging onto the side of the train, and look at the colour of the hair, guys. That is Aranea's hair colour, and that is just such a weird hair colour to put. I mean, she's pretty well endowed. She's got really weirdly placed blonde hair. I mean, why is that hair blonde? I mean, it's so out of place. And Aranea's name is spider. Now, I've been suspicious of this whole Aranea spider link for a long time now. I've not spoke about it because there was nothing more for me to go on. I could sit here and I could talk bullshit. I could say, oh, you know, she has an interest in the 4 brothers. Perhaps there's a whole parallel of the Spider Queen, you know, trying to ensnare them in her web and all that stuff. But this is it. I've got no more than this. Aranea's name means spider. Why have they named her that? Why does this one have pretty big knockers and blonde hair? So there it is, guys, on the table. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Next one is this. This is just that the Leviathan fight is still in there. A lot of people thought that was gone from Versus 13. And it isn't. I mean, it's clearly still there. We kind of saw Prompto Noctis swinging on a gun lance before, with Leviathan kind of snapping at him. So we've seen it before. But this is just another one of the bazillion things that Versus 13 had, that in the last month or two we have seen re-emerging in this game. And I've said this before. I reckon if they still made Versus 13 and 15, I reckon Tabata made it a bit darker, tweaked a few names, adding his own little spin, but by and large, the games wouldn't look that different, and the plots would pretty much run along the same channels. Probably the biggest thing is the subtracting of Brotherhood and Kingsglaive content. That's probably the biggest bit, but that's just my opinion. Next up, this is the big one, the big daddy, the one that we're all here to talk about in this video. So we know what we're all thinking. That sword came down, we're all thinking Odin's sword. And we'd be right to think that, because it could definitely be Odin's sword. I agree with what everyone's saying. That could well be Odin. We know Odin is in this game, but we've never seen anything of it. And for any of my peasants who have seen my theories, been with me for a long time, I've been comparing Odin to Regis for the last 5 months. Over at least 15 different videos. The links I found, I've probably found at least 30 plus. I can try to paraphrase a few here very quickly because I've got a live stream soon, but it will be paraphrasing. And this is the thing, please bear this in mind for my newer peasants who haven't seen it. I'll leave links in the descriptions for the videos if you want to go see them. I'm paraphrasing. Whenever I paraphrase, I always get my face shat on. So for example, I paraphrased as why Gentiana was connected to the loser's household, because she wore black, and why she could be an astral, and why she could be an immortal, why she could even be a former king or queen of Oracle, all that good stuff. Someone comes to my video and says, so you're saying that Gentiana is an immortal and a Lucis guard because she's wearing black? That's all you've got? You're basing it on just because she's wearing black? No, I'm not. I'm just paraphrasing. So please bear that in mind. Because otherwise I'll be here for 2 hours. So some of the links that I found. So here were all the Sons of Odin videos. There was the light and the dark edition of it because of Ignis going blind, and they're really uncanny. There's definitely stuff there, links in the description, and how all the brothers shared a specific relationship with Odin, and how the Brotherhood's relationship with Regis pretty much tied in every single way. So Gladiolus was pretty much his guard. You've seen the videos. Here's some of the other ones I found with Loki to Odin. And one of the things I said, that if Ravers is represent Fenrir, he would be the one to kill Regis. Now this is probably the most controversial point. Back in the day, we saw in Versus 13 that Ravers and Noctis will fight. We're going to fight. And Noctis was bare mad. He had anger in his eyes. I genuinely still believe that Ravers was going to kill Regis. I think that's how it was going to go down. I think that when they just then decided to make Kingsglaive and they had to turn things around, for Kingsglaive they had to make not a new villain, but they had to make a central villain. They had to make someone that we hated. They had to give us, the audience, a reason to hate him, to want to back Nyx, to want him to kill Drautus. And I genuinely believe that they flipped the murder of Regis off of Ravers onto Drautus. Or if it wasn't going to be just Drautus, I mean, they're kind of both responsible either way. Ravers was still there in Kingsglaive for his death. They were still in cahoots on Regis's murder. Noctis could still be mad at Ravers for that. I mean, in this game, I'll just say, although he didn't put the sword in, Ravers still abetted his father's death. He just wasn't strong enough to go up against Regis. Noctis could still blame him for that. Honestly could. But I genuinely think that back in Versus 13 it was Ravers. But moving on past that, I then did this video here. Now, this was talking about the War of the Magi, the War of the Triad, how there were scary links. There's loads of them, guys, and everything to do with the Astrals, and how I thought they were enslaved by the Lucii. How not because Nyx gave his life in servitude. I think it's in servitude. I don't think he's given his life as in death. I think it's life in servitude. He could come back as an Astral. And how possibly Odin was trying to free the Astrals. And the Astrals were going for their freedom, just like in the War of the Magi and the Triad. They're enslaved by the gods of gods, then by mankind. And it was 2 weeks after I did this video that Tabata came out and said, if FF15 is taking most influence from any previous game in the franchise, it is FF6. And I'm just like, ka-ching, yes, nailed it. I knew it. I saw those links. And I can guarantee, guys, it's the one with the Magellan Triad. There is nothing else. I mean, the links there are compelling. There's nothing else to show where FF15 is getting its FF6 influence, bar this. And one of the huge parts of this is that Odin is petrified in his castle. He's the king. He has control over the astrals, just like Regis does. He gets petrified in the castle, but then he returns later. So Odin returns as Raiden. There's really scary links there, guys. Some of the other ones very quickly, the whole parallels between Sleipnir and the Regalia. The other one was those who sit above in shadow to the Lucii. Fuck whether it's a Marvel concept or not, that don't mean shit. That's not a Marvel concept. That's a Norse mythology concept. I mean, these were based on Norse giants. They were based on those who sit above in shadow, they keep Ragnarok in place. Ragnarok, the perpetual cycle of Ragnarok, everything that the FNC saga had with Falsi, Falsi were the ones who kept Ragnarok in place. It's not I mean, they're all connected, they're all linked. You can't sit and say Marvel have the monopoly on Ragnarok. That don't make fuck all sense. And I know that Square Enix were taking influence from this picture when they did this picture with the Lucii. I know they did. But moving on past that, one of the other parts of one of the deals that Odin makes with one of the Norse giants, Mimir, because there's Ymir, Surt and Mimir. He makes a deal with Mimir, and the deal he makes is for power and wisdom, and he has to make a sacrifice for it. And in Norse mythology, Odin sacrifices his eye, but in this game, I've said I think that possibly Regis made a deal for Noctis's life. He made a deal for power to protect his kingdom, and now he's trying to go back on that deal, and that really now connects with Omen, the Omen trailer. You saw my theory that the reason that Crystal wants, the person he wants is Noctis. Some think it's Luna, I still think it's Noctis. And the reason he wants Noctis so bad, possibly dead, possibly not, is because Noctis is a once-in-a-lifetime reincarnation of Chaos. And that's why Ardyn/Nadir is now getting involved, because his master's once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for reincarnation has emerged. It is Noctis. That's why Ardyn is now getting involved. That's why he's had access to this power. He's now given it to Niflheim. Why is Ardyn only making a move now? Just as Noctis has come of age. Or, I mean, when do you come of age as a Lucis King? I mean, I suppose there's no date. But I think that's what is special about Noctis, and that is why the Crystal wants it. So that would kind of be the same parallel as Odin to Mimir, and that's why the Crystal wants Noctis so bad. But the final one was, and I'll just say this is what Odin looks like in the Genesis artwork, and I even found a link to that with the FF15 logo. I said, this logo, like every other FNC and almost every other just game in the franchise, is always an end game spoiler. And Regis will be in at the end of the game. He will, whether he's in the form of a ghostly Lucii, or whether he's in the form of the Old Wall. Perhaps he'll get his own Old Wall model, maybe, who knows. He'll be in the end of the game. Odin's horse's head is there in the logo. So that was the other one, peasants. Look at the mane, look at the head. It's there, guys. Oh, it's all there. And then finally, one other link that I want to make that I've never really spoke about in the past is how Insomnia is so much like Asgard. I've kind of touched on this. There's only one bridge that leads into Insomnia. One bridge, and it was even described that this is the bridge that connects Insomnia to the rest of Lucis. And this is the bridge that Luna crosses at the end of the game. What do we know about this little character here, guys? She has this knack for getting us into places. She got us into the Niflheim base. Perhaps she'll be the one who gets us back into Lucis Insomnia when we try to reclaim our throne. Is that Iris's role? And if it is, because the other place that has only one big bridge that connects to it is Asgard. It only has one bridge, just like Insomnia. And in Asgard, or Norse mythology, the bridge is called the Rainbow Bridge. And Iris's name means rainbow. Oh, googly moogly. The connects are all there, so the links are all there, and the reason I'm talking about all this and re-emphasising all of my Odin points is because this trailer here, the first time we've ever had a smidge a smidgeroony of a hint of Odin. We've never had anything. We know he's in the game, but we've never seen anything, and the first time we ever get a hint, they just happen to be talking about Regis.
Insomnia falls.
The king was found dead. The king was found dead.
As that sword came down, there was talk about the king has died. Is that a coincidence, guys? Is that a coincidence on top of all the other 152.35 connections I found over the last 5 months, over the last 15 theory videos in total? Is that a coincidence that just as we see that they're talking about Regis and his death? I don't think it is. Again, I'll put all the links in the description, guys. Let me know what you think. What we also have to bear in mind is Odin has been confirmed as being in the game, but in the cosmogony book, he's not an astral. That's the thing. He's not one of the 6 or 7, I can't remember what it is now, summons that we have access to. We know what summons we're going to get now. Odin isn't one of them. And wouldn't that just be exactly what would happen if Regis was Odin? We wouldn't be able to summon him, but he would be in the game. Oh my goodness. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section. I'll put a poll in the top corner. For a lot of my new peasants who haven't seen all my theories, you probably don't have enough meat yet to want to vote, or you're probably not very compelled. But if you have seen my theories, or even if you're just compelled off of this, or if you want to see my previous videos, do whatever you like. Go up and vote, and let's see, do the majority of us or the minority of us think that Regis will be Odin? God damn. Going into this game. Let me know, guys. And best of luck today, American bros, choker bros and choker hoes, on voting for the lesser of 2 evils. Today is a scary day, guys. So let's vote and let's see. Until the next video, goodbye!